Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker is now just 52 days away from its official release by writer and director J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio, Disney, and Lucasfilm. That is all set and ready to end the Skywalker saga and the sequel trilogy itself. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, one aspect of Episode 9 that a lot of fans are very invested in is, of course, the Jedi, the Sith, and the Force lore that will be utilized in a very unique way in this story by JJ that's really going to benefit the characters of Rey and Kylo Ren in the film from start to finish of the plot of this movie. And that's one of the big highlights of Episode 9, not just the fact that Palpatine is returning, but also the fact that they will be exploring other sides of the Jedi, the Sith, and the Force overall that's going to change how we view the prequels, the originals, and the entire franchise. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film, and when it all comes down to one of the concept art descriptions, this is where things begin to get very exciting for Episode 9. Now, specifically, shot descriptions consisting of a sequence where it's explained that Rey is said to be traveling into the Lost City, where she is said to be on a mission to discover many pieces of Jedi and Sith lore, as well as ancient knowledge of the Force to bring herself to a better understanding of everything related to both the dark side and the light. It's explained that eventually Rey discovers the Land of Warriors, a place full of ancient Jedi ruins and structures that allows her to connect with the Force in unique ways than ever before. Eventually, Rey is said to come across the statue of Ahsoka Tano, where as Rey examines the statue and places her hand on it, it's said that a distant female voice can be heard faintly in the background, where the voice is actually said to be Ahsoka Tano reaching out to Rey through the Force, telling her a passage of ancient Jedi code that is said to be etched onto the Ahsoka Tano statue that were created by the Force renovators. It's described that the scene is said to be a very dark and gritty sequence that eventually leads to Rey to the Prime Jedi Temple as she listens to the voice of Ahsoka Tano in the process. The scene is said to serve as a challenge for Rey during her mission to discover ancient lore of the Jedi and the Force, where additionally it's explained that Ahsoka's voice is said to have an echo effect in the background, which makes it unclear if she is alive or a Force ghost in the moment. So let's go over a couple of parts about this. Now, the thing about Episode 9 here is that we do know that JJ wants to tap directly into, new elements of Force lore that we have never seen before on the big screen, as well as connecting this movie to Star Wars Rebels, the Clone Wars, all those animated TV series, in order to really make it not just the culmination of the Skywalker saga, but a movie that really branches out to all mediums of the Star Wars franchise. We're talking about books, novels, comics, the animated TV series, the past Star Wars films, you name it, the list goes on. So the fact that JJ is so ambitious to the point where he wants to do something to that extent, to really explore Star Wars in a different way, really does speak volumes to me at least. Now, I want to go over the Ahsoka Tano statue and the fact that it was actually created by the Force renovators. Now, the Force renovators are these ancient creatures, if you will, that actually keep the Jedi structures up and running and pretty much up to date, where the structures are actually stayed together and are able to really give a message to whoever just actually explores this area underneath the surface of this unknown world in the Outer Rim. Now, when Rey travels here, this is said to be the very moment in which she learns more about the ancient Jedi and, of course, the new knowledge of the Force that has never been told before to other Jedi out there during the events of the prequel trilogy and others as well. So the Lost City is actually said to be an ancient area where even previous Jedi actually have statues based on themselves from the Force renovators, such as Ezra Bridger and even now Ahsoka Tano. Now, as Rey goes toward the statue and places her hand on the ancient Jedi code that's written on her statue, this is where she begins to hear the voice of Ahsoka in the distance, a faint voice, if you will, that is actually said to be a female voice with an echo effect in the background. Now, the echo effect really does open up a lot of questions here. Is she a Force ghost, or is she connecting with Rey from afar, either in the unknown regions or another section of the galaxy perhaps, right? We do know that Disney and Lucasfilm have a big plan in place here in order to really make this movie gravitate toward all Star Wars fans around the world. Whether you're, like I say, into comics, books, novels, you name it, this movie is going to gravitate toward all the Star Wars fans, which really is a big deal and could really be a good or a bad thing depending on how it's all going to be executed on the big screen. The Lost City, it sounds like it's going to be a great way to set up new Star Wars lore, and that's exactly what JJ is planning to do with The Rise of Skywalker, is that this movie is not just going to be the culmination of the Skywalker saga, but it's also going to be a film that will be used as a foundation to create something new, to bring Star Wars into a different direction that's going to make us realize the Force in a different light, as well as understanding the Jedi and the Sith in a different way as well, that'll change how we view the past 8 films. So on top of all of this, guys, let me know what you think about this below in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.